Hi friends, today we are going to be learning how to create art using positive and negative space or positive and negative shapes. What is a positive or a negative shape? Well, take for instance here my pink rectangle. Okay, we know that's a pink rectangle, but it looks like there's a pink triangle laying on top. But what I actually did is I cut this pink triangle out of my pink rectangle. Now, yes, I cut through the paper, not a big deal. But even though I have my pink triangle over here, this shape is still a triangle, right? Yeah, even though I can stick my fingers through it and wave at you, okay, it's still a triangle. This is a negative shape, meaning it's still a shape, but it's not actually there. Now, if you can understand how to use positive and negative shapes, it's going to make you an even better artist, even when you're doing any other kind of artwork. So I'm going to show you some fun ways that you can use positive and negative shapes to create a collage today. One reason I want you guys to do this is because I want you to become even better at using scissors. Scissors are an amazing art supply, amazing art tool, and being able to use scissors is a very important skill to have. Now, all you need for this is some type of paper. It could even be a piece of newspaper. You just need some kind of surface to glue all your shapes to. You need something to draw with. It could be a pen, pencil, marker, crayon, glue stick. All right, and then some scrap papers. Now, you may not have a pack of construction paper. Even if you didn't have construction paper, if you'll notice what I did here is I took a scrap piece of white paper and I colored it with crayon. So now I have a piece of colored orange paper. And if I wanted it to be darker, I would just color in a little harder, like this streak right here. So I'm going to use these pieces and I'm going to show you guys how to cut on the side of a shape and also how to create some negative shapes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my pieces here and I am going to draw half of a shape, because the coolest thing about positive and negative shapes are that I can actually cut half of a shape and get the other one free. Okay, so buy one, get one free. So half of the art I'm gonna cut, but then I get the other half of the art and I didn't even do anything. All right, so I'm gonna start with a simple shape. If I take a heart and I divide it down the middle, it's going to look like this. I start on the edge. I'm cutting out of the edge of these shapes. I come up and I curve like I'm going over a hill, and then I come back down and I touch that line. Now you can see that that's half of a heart. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my scissors, open them up, and I am going to cut right on that black line the best that I can. And you can see my negative shape is starting to form right underneath my positive shape that I am cutting away. Now, the cool thing about this is I'm going to lay my paper over. I don't like my black line showing where I drew, so I'm going to flip this over. Then I'm going to lay this piece back in here. It's kind of like I am matching up a puzzle piece, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over. Whoop, see if I can get my fingers under it. I'm going to flip it over, and now I have a whole heart. This is the negative shape with the white paper showing through underneath, and this is the positive shape. All right, let's try it again. So now I've got my orange here, okay? I'm gonna do half of a star and then see if I can get the other half. All right, this is half of the top, the side, and the bottom. All right, now I just realized, so I only colored the front of my paper. If I want the other side of my paper to show and be orange, I'm gonna need to color both sides, because I'm gonna flip this star around. See how I turn the paper while I close my scissors? All right, so now I've got half of a star shape. I will take this and lay it in there and I will flip it over. Now that looks white, but you know what? I just had a thought. I've got this big chunk of pink over here. So what if I put this shape right up against this one? Then whenever I flip this star over, it's laying on top of my pink. I think that looks kind of cool. All right, and I need to glue all this stuff down, but I might want to cut out some more shapes before I keep going. And you can think of things that are symmetrical, like for instance, an evergreen tree. I'm drawing half of the tree shape. And you can come up with all kinds of shapes to cut. I like to turn my paper with the hand that I'm not cutting with. And then my hand with my scissors actually stays more still if I use my other hand to hold my paper and turn it and guide it for me. All right, so now I've got my positive shape here in my hand. I'm gonna match that up right here on the side. Okay, so I wanna see you guys cut out some different shapes and flip them over and fill your whatever surface that you are using, fill that